Hey, NerdSing here, and in this video I would like to review this 27-inch 4K monitor from LG, which has a USB-C port, which means you can plug it directly into a laptop or computer which has USB-C ports. So if you have a MacBook Pro of the new style like the one behind me, or you have a new Ultrabook that only has USB-C, then this review is for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've been using this monitor for the best part of a year now, and just to start off with to say is this is an excellent monitor. I'm really happy with it, not looking to change it. And if you remember back to when I started NerdSing, one of the very first reviews I made was on a 27-inch 4K monitor from LG. Looks very similar to this, doesn't it? If you've seen that video, the only thing is that it had a black base. It's essentially, this is exactly the same monitor as that. It just has a USB-C port. So I was very happy with that, and I wanted to get this so that I could plug it directly into my MacBook. And so if you're thinking of getting a monitor like that, then this is definitely a good contender. I bought this for £520 when it came out. However, this specific model, from what I can see, has been discontinued, or it's very difficult to get. However, LG have replaced it. The screen looks exactly the same, so does this part of the base, but this part looks a little bit different. Apart from that, the specs are very similar, and that's now available on Amazon, and they have brought it down in price. I think at the moment it's about £480. So just like that monitor I reviewed last year, this one has a very good build quality. It has the tilt functionality. It can be adjusted vertically as well, and you can also put it into portrait mode. So if you're a coder, or if you're doing some kind of analytical work, then that can be quite useful for you. I went for this monitor just like the previous one, because it's 4K, I wanted something flat, not curved, because I video edit. And also the color on this is excellent, really happy with it. It's bright, it's vivid, it's not too hard on the eyes, and it also is color corrected. It's RGB, so if you're a video editor, if you're a photographer and you're going to edit like that, then this is kind of the screen you'd want to go for. On the back of the monitor we have two HDMI ports. There's a display port there, USB-C port, as I've mentioned already, that's plugged into my MacBook, two USB ports. So what these are is, if you wanted to plug in a hard drive or some kind of peripheral, a USB stick, then it will connect to your computer through the USB-C port. So when I read reports about this, that was quite exciting. I'll talk about that in a minute. And finally, that's a headphone jack. It's a good time to mention that this monitor doesn't have inbuilt speakers. The setting on the monitor to change volume is if you're going to plug in external speakers through this headphone jack. So now on to the main reason that you're watching this video, is the USB-C functionality. Obviously the main reason I bought this monitor, and definitely it's very handy when I come home, don't need to pull my charger out. The MacBook goes onto my roof stand, the USB-C plugs in, and not only does then the MacBook straight away connect to the monitor, but through the power of the monitor, it charges the MacBook. So that is hugely beneficial, that you don't need to then plug in power separately into your MacBook. I have found that when you put your laptop through an intensive process, whether it's say rendering video, you're charging things through it, then it won't charge it as fast. And sometimes I've found when I'm kind of rendering 4K multicam video and it's really pushing the graphics card, then the monitor won't even be able to charge it. It'll just kind of hold its charge. So that is something to be aware of, that the kind of performance of the charging isn't as great as if you were to just plug in the Apple charger itself. When I was looking into this monitor, I was very excited by the prospect of having the two USB ports on the back of the monitor, meaning that I have more ports I can plug things into the MacBook, and I don't need to worry about finding adapters or docks. But I couldn't find much information on it. I didn't know what the speed of it would be. Say for example, like myself, you're a video editor and you're thinking, I could plug in a hard drive into this screen, and then it will just connect, and I can edit off the hard drive and kind of tape the hard drive to the back so it's hidden. It works, but it's very slow. So those USB-C ports, they're a bit of a gimmick. If you're going to use them for anything, it's going to be for like a USB stick, or to charge your phone or something like that. Nothing where you have to kind of read and write fast. In that case, you'd obviously want to make use of the fast USB-C ports. That's why they've changed to USB-C, right? So unfortunately, as cool as that feature could have been, the speed at which the USB is read and written to through the USB-C to the MacBook isn't fast enough for me anyway. So if that's something that's quite important to you, then I'd look at other options. However, just the functionality of being able to, with one cable, plug it into a laptop, charge it, and use the screen is more of enough of a reason for me to buy this screen. And now, of course, the monitor, even though it's been updated, it has come down in price. So I think as USB-C gains popularity, then there will be more competition. But this, for me, is one of the best monitors out there for that kind of price. LG now make a 32-inch version of this monitor. So if 27-inch isn't big enough for you, then starting from £800, you can get a 32-inch version of this model, which would be quite insane. But just to summarize this video, I am hugely happy with this monitor. It's easy on the eyes when editing for long periods of time. It looks really nice on the table. I love the thin bezels of it. The customizability of the colors, and it has gaming modes if you're into gaming. The way that you can run through it, all these settings are just through this one button here. So that's really, really good. You can have picture-in-picture as well. So if you have two things connected, you could be like watching TV and then doing something else on another screen. So that's really cool. On the whole, I'm really happy with it. If I was to request any improvement on it, it would just be that more power is sent through the USB-C, so that when the MacBook is going through more intense activities, then it can be charged at that kind of similar rate. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this review, and if you did, give it a like, and I will see you in the next one. NerdSync out.